All right. Now I'd like to talk about the way the course is going to run and some of the course policies. So this course will take place in person in the dance studio so that we can remain socially distanced from 2:30 to 3:20 on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. A little later on in this module, you're going to indicate to me what are good office hours for you, and then we will determine a good set of office hours that everybody can make. As I mentioned, the only prerequisites for the course are Math 111 or CS 173. So the course will run in Python. So I don't assume any Python knowledge, and as long as you know the programming paradigms from Intro Computer Science, you'll be okay. Math 111 is there because we're going to do a little bit of trig. We will review the trig as needed, but I do expect a certain level of mathematical maturity, so that's what that's all about. Just a note that even though this course occurs in person, we will have students attending remotely. So actually, I expect everyone to show up with a laptop and headphones, even if you're going to be in person. We all want to be on Zoom because surveys last semester showed that students who are remotely attending courses that occur in person feel much more a part of the community if everyone is on Zoom. So essentially, it's going to run like an online course that takes place in person in the dance studio. I still think this is a step up from the fully remote courses that I taught last spring. So we'll do our best to make that work. As part of that, I do expect people to show up with their cameras on. And if you can't have your camera on, particularly for reasons of an accommodation, let me know. But otherwise, I'll assume that you will have your camera on at all times, even if you're in class. And again, that's to make sure our remote colleagues feel like they're a part of it. As far as the technology we're going to use, well, in class, we're going to do Zoom, as I mentioned. But we also have this class website. So we got kind of a zoo of different technology we're using. So we have the class website. This has the whole syllabus here, and it also, as I pointed out, has the schedule. So you should refresh the schedule often. The schedule tells all the topics we're going to do. It has all the due dates of all the assignments, and I'll be updating it frequently throughout the semester. So I don't really use Canvas for any of that stuff. The only thing I'm going to use Canvas for is for you to submit your assignments and to store grades and feedback for the assignments. So I will, put the assignments there. You can look at the Canvas calendar to see when things are due, but you shouldn't expect to find anything else about the course there. Everything else about the course is going to be on the website. I prefer to be able to customize the website as I do. I think it makes it look a lot nicer and is more compact. And everything is together. Basically just this page and the schedule, and then the assignments pages, which will show up as we hand out the assignments. Discord is also going to be a very big part of this course. For those of you who don't know, Discord is basically like Microsoft Teams for gamers. So it's a lot more casual than Teams as a sort of a chat forum app. And we had really good experiences with it last semester, even remotely. So I want to do this again, and it's going to be an even more central part of the course because this semester I'm actually moving my office hours onto Discord. So we're going to have a Discord channel for this class, but I'm also going to have everybody join the ACM club, so our computer club's Discord channel, and that's where I'm going to be holding office hours. So I think that'll work a lot better than office hours over Teams worked last semester. And actually one of the reasons is because multiple people can share their screens at once. So multiple people can stream, and I think it actually works a little better than Teams as far as connectivity goes. So we're going to do office hours there. And I'm also hoping that on our class Discord, people will get good discussions going about the assignments, and that we can answer questions for the whole class. That worked pretty well last semester, so I'd like to keep that up. And you can send me and your classmates direct messages. One thing I would ask, though, is that if you're going to talk about anything of a sensitive nature, particularly personal issues or grades, that you do that over Microsoft Teams instead of Discord. So we do want to use Teams for things that are more sensitive in nature. And that's because we want to protect your privacy, so we should be using platforms that are locked down under Ursinus. So Discord is for general questions on the assignments, public and private questions to me and your classmates, but don't put anything super sensitive on Discord. And you can use email, but I'm not a huge fan of email, so I'd prefer if you could stick to the other things. But I will respond to emails, and I will also be doing announcements over email. So I'm going to put announcements both over email and over Discord. And you'll see everything on the class web page that's important too. So if you're checking one of the class web page, Discord, or email, you will see all the updates that are important. Okay. So that's pretty much how all the tech is going to work in the course. And again, my office hours are going to occur on a different channel because they're not just for this class, they're for all my classes. So you'll later in the module, you'll sign up for both the class channel and also for the channel that has my office hours. Okay, so as far as readings go, there's no textbook. I will be teaching you everything that you need to know via these pre-class modules. So you're on a module now. But these have started off kind of as an accidental thing during the pandemic, but have turned into a central theme in my teaching because people like them so much. So what I do is I give little 10-minute videos for you to watch, followed by a little coding exercise right away. So here's an example from 174 last fall. So I was teaching about inheritance in C++. There's like a 10-minute video. You click next, and actually live in the browser, I have you modify some code to make sure that you understood the video. Try to keep these exercises pretty short, but they're to check your comprehension. If you get it correct, it'll automatically notify you, and it will send you an email, and it'll also give you credit on Canvas. If it's not correct, so in this case, this was C++, you had to actually compile it and then run it. If it's not correct, it'll give you a hint on why you didn't get it correct. If you made a common mistake. Then you click next, there's another video, and then there's another coding module. Okay. So that's how that's going to work. So there'll be a lot of those. And those are worth 15% of the grade. So I'm shooting for about 2 of those per week. And what I've noticed is they lead to much deeper discussions. So we're going to stick to those for the primary way of learning things. Okay, then attendance and participation is 5% of the grade. But the bulk of the grade, the real bulk of the grade, is in programming assignments. I've decided in this class I really want to give you a breadth of knowledge. As I said, I want you to be able to walk into a conference and understand almost anything. So I've made a trade-off of giving a little bit more assignments and no final exam or project. So we're just going to do a lot of assignments together. And so they're really worth almost the entire grade. Okay. And there's I have a flexible submission policy. So if you turn things in late, you get penalties based on how late it is. But if you communicate to me ahead of time, then I have never not granted an extension to somebody who asked for it. So if you're having trouble, just communicate to me. I also have some stuff here about inclusive classroom environment. CS has not traditionally been a very inclusive discipline, and we are trying to do better. So what I like to say is that nobody's special, but by consequence, everybody is special to me. I value everybody's opinion. Everybody comes from different backgrounds. As I say here, there are many axes to diversity. Every axis is welcome in the class, and I expect you all to welcome each other and to be respectful to each other. And this is because we want to create an environment in which people feel comfortable expressing confusion and learning. So I want people to feel comfortable through the productive struggle. So I do want you to feel uncomfortable as you learn, because you need to push yourself out of your comfort zone to learn new things. But I want you to feel comfortable with me and your peers. So that's basically what I mean about an inclusive classroom environment. And just knowing that regardless of who the role models are in pop culture and CS, that you belong in CS. We're really trying to get more people involved. Okay. And I'm just very happy and very humbled to be here teaching you. Okay. Some common sense stuff about participation. Noting that if you find a mistake and you call me out on a mistake, it's sometimes an opportunity for extra credit. So pay attention. But in general, I really like when people help each other in class and also over Discord. So I like to build a community. Some common sense stuff about basically don't cyberbully people on online discussion boards. Do check to make sure that you're not re-asking a question that's already been asked. Things like that. And collaboration. So you don't have to work with a partner. You can work completely by yourself. I mean, we will be doing group activities in class, but on the assignments, you're welcome to work by yourself. But some people find that they're more productive when they can bounce ideas off of somebody else. Of course, we'll have general questions to the class on Discord. But for closer collaboration that includes looking at code, you are allowed to choose one buddy. That's what we call it. So, and this kind of spells out what you're allowed to do with your buddy. So, you're allowed to show your code to your buddy and to have them see your code and for them to show you their code. But I don't want you to actually electronically send the text of your code to them. So the idea is you can flash your code to your buddy, and maybe as you're debugging, you can solicit their help. But once that's done, I want you to all close your code and make sure that you can replicate the solution yourself, reconstruct the solution yourself. Okay. And just a note that I make, to read you the riot act at this point. If I discover that somebody's copied code offline or from somebody else, I will have to report it to the dean. It's just, I will report it to the dean no matter what. And then the dean will help me figure out what to do next. I don't like doing that. I'm not a disciplinarian naturally, but I have done it under sinus, so just be careful about that. If you're not sure if something that you're doing is permitted, just make sure you check with me. We can always have a discussion about that. But the last thing I want to note is that your reputation is more important than your grades. This is something I think we don't stress enough, but we write stronger recommendations for students who have lower grades, but who work really hard and who meet us halfway, than we do for students who may have higher grades on paper, but who have engaged in dishonest behavior. So just keep that in mind. I doubt I'll have to deal with this in this class, but again, I have dealt with it in some of the intro classes in our science before, so just be careful. Okay, now, of course, there's some of the boilerplate stuff about accommodations. Just want to remind you that if you have accommodations, be sure to still ask for extensions explicitly. You do need to learn to advocate for yourself and to use the accommodations. I'll try to check in with you, but I won't always remember to do that. So make sure you remind me if you're going to use your accommodations for an assignment. I don't know about tutoring for this course, but I put the link up here just in case. It's kind of it's special topics. I don't know how many other students would be able to help, but it does overlap with physics and with math. So it's possible that a tutor could come in handy. I also want to note that the Counseling Center has open drop-in hours 2 to 3 p.m. every weekday, and there's also a link that you can visit to sign up. These are tough times. We'll try to check in class when crazy things are going on, but I'm not a therapist, and we are lucky to have trained therapists on campus. So I'd highly encourage you to take advantage of that and use me as an example of somebody who's benefited from therapy. I'm actually currently in therapy. I've been in therapy before as well, and it's really helped me through some rough patches in my life. So, I'm happy to talk, but again, I'm not a professional, so it'd be good if we get you into that pipeline if you're having trouble. So be sure to communicate with me also if you're having trouble. Okay, and then of course there's the Title IX stuff, which is related to inclusivity, but there are some specific channels to go through if there are any Title IX issues. And inclement weather policy. There's always just all these little logistical things. Okay. So that's pretty much it. So what I'd like you to do now is go through the rest of this module. I'm going to have you do a little syllabus quiz now, which you have infinite retries on. Just want to make sure that all the finer points of the syllabus are clear. Then I will have you sign up for Discord. I will have you check to make sure that you can do these online modules. Indicate your office hour availability. And then finally, I will have you actually make sure you get Python set up on your own computer. And that will be good to go. So it's a lot of little things I need you to do, but it'll set the stage for the course. I would like you to have all this stuff done by Wednesday night. And I would like you to have the syllabus quiz done before class on Wednesday so we have a chance to answer any questions about the syllabus in class. Okay, so thank you for your attention. I'm looking forward to getting to know you all better in the course. I hope we can build a great community. I'm super stoked about these topics. It's a real pleasure to get to teach this. I've always dreamed about teaching a course like this. And my goal is going to be to blow your mind, so hopefully that happens. All right, see you all on Wednesday.